What is going on YouTube? So in today's video we are going to look at blue-black Flash, but an Explorer this time instead of Historic. So the key card here is Slitherwisp. Any card that has Flash will draw us a card and drain our opponent. Most of our deck has Flash, and what doesn't have Flash are instants. So we play the entire game at instant speed. And if the opponent is not used to doing that, it causes a lot of misplays. So it's very confusing sometimes to play against, and that's why I wanted to do a deck tech on it. So to start off, we do have our engine. This draws us a boatload of cards. It is by far our most important card. Then after that, we have cheap creatures. And our Enforcer, our Cutthroat, our Nightbonder, our Thought-Thief, and we just play those down, and then we hold up counter magic. And this allows us to just beat our opponent with 1, 2, or 3 creatures on the board. We do have some removal, because there are certain creatures that we just have to kill. And other than that, it's pretty aggressive. We do have Lochmere Serpent to close out the game. You can give him unblockable to get that last 7 points in, which comes up quite a bit. The mana base is pretty simple. We have a creature land in Hall of the Storm Giants, all the blue-black duels, and 2 Castle Locthwains. So upon request, I will start posting a import, I think is what you call it, of this deck. So if you just want to copy and paste it to your Arena account, you are more than welcome to do so. Now, I do play best of 1, but I have built a sideboard in case I wanted to take this to tournament play. We have 4 Thoughtseizes and 2 Negates against the control matchups. We have 3 Cry of the Carnariums against very, very aggressive decks, which doesn't really come up too often, and we do have a pretty good matchup against, but those help. And then we have Cling to Dust and Runestones for all the graveyard decks. But without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into some games, see how we do. Okay, so we don't have any early creatures, and our mana is a little wonky, so I will go ahead and mulligan this. This is much better. So we will go ahead and just throw back an island. Maybe. Thank you. And we do have a shock land that turns on all of our other lands as well. So the Cutthroat here is one of the first cards you always want to play, because it grows every time you cast a spell on the opponent's turn. So I wonder what our opponent has that kept causing a stick there. Fateful Absence. Okay, and now from here on out, basically, we will attempt to win with just our single Thought-Thief. So we could allow this to happen, which I will go ahead and do. He just gets to take his pick of what counterspell he wants to take. He'll probably go with Dissipate if I had to guess. Now we have the we will go ahead and just take 3 to draw a card. It uses the most mana. Yep, that's what I thought. He is probably Esper, Greasefang, or Mardu. Oh, Esper. Okay, so we can just go ahead and do this. Now he can no longer play that card, which is a key card in his deck. And that's why I love Ashiok's Erasure so much. Now, unfortunately, we are milling him through this Thought-Thief and Enforcer and stuff, and that's exactly what he wants. But at the same time, our cards get more powerful the more cards they have in the graveyard. I will let him take that Ashiok's Erasure, I think. Because now we only got to pay 1 to draw a new card. And hey, it's okay, we'll just draw another one, right? So I'm not swinging with the Hall of the Storm Giants here, because I do want to leave up Counterspell in case he has a Wrath or Greasefang or whatever. He is dead on the swing, so okay. And that, I think, is one of my favorite parts about this deck, is you just get under your opponent really quick and just try to protect your creatures the best you can. Now, there are other ways to do this, such as giving them hexproof and stuff like that, but those are also dead against wraths and the such, whereas a counterspell is almost never dead. Great hand, we got good mana, we got good cheap creatures. We have our best card. Mono red. Okay, so normally I do like to play this Cutthroat first, but I am going to go ahead and Thought-Thief first, so he can just eat this courier. Now we could get shocked here or stomped, all kinds of things that could happen. Beautiful. Ooh, excuse me. Okay, so I don't mind. I'm not going to eat this by any means. I would actually prefer him to tap out here so I can play the Slitherwisp uncontested. But if he has a shock or a play with fire or something similar, then it is what it is. And although he is mono red, I do think we are going to win this race. Without a doubt. Is he a wizard? He is not. Okay. So, unfortunately, I don't really want to play anything. Because if I do, he can Wizard's Lightning my Slitherwisp. And that would be super unfortunate. But we need more creatures on the board. Perfect. Okay, now we have enough creatures on the board where we can just go ahead and leave up our counter spells and not commit anything more. Okay. That's a-okay with me. Pyromancer's okay. Okay, so this I will go ahead and counter. And we will play another Slitherwisp, because if he does not have the removal spell, we can just untap and win. Yep. We were going to attack and then just do that. So that just goes to show that this deck can be more aggressive than mono red, and that's always a good thing. But it also has counter spells to back it up. Okay, so 2 mana is a little unfortunate, but I think this is good enough to keep. Okay, so we definitely do not want to offer that trade. Our creature will get bigger than his. Ooh, he is Grixis. We'll run out of Slitherwisp here. He probably has some sort of removal for it. But he chose to kill that instead. That's interesting. Eek. I want to go ahead and get out the cards that I for sure do not want him to take. Okay. And now he can have his choice of counterspells. Is this a Grixis vampire deck? Nice. The Xander meme lives on. Unfortunately, we don't have a flyer, and I do not want to offer any of these trades. Once again, I almost want to just play out. I'm going to. We'll just play this out to draw a card. Beautiful. So we will rewind that. Yep. All right. Nothing like starting a video out 3-0. Okay, so our mana is wonky here. But I meant to keep that, I really did. But hey, this hand is potentially better. So it's got better mana in it, at least. I am hoping they are more of a control deck as opposed to an aggressive deck, but it is what it is. Robber of the Rich. That is fine. So we will play this before his attack phase so he does not get one of our cards. Alright. Sorry about that. I had to take that phone call. We'll do no blocks. And we will attempt to race him. Okay, so once again, we both have 4. Bone Crusher Giant. I will negate that. That will also probably take away his next play. And he could still have a shock effect, but he can grow out of range of red being able to deal with him. So if he does not kill him soon, eventually that will happen. Okay, I was really hoping to draw a land there. Because now if he has a land, he can get down. Sure. Okay, so before his attack phase, we'll flash in Slitherwisp. Okay, and we do have mono red on the defensive. Okay, so what does this do? Yep, that's fine. Let's flash in this to hopefully draw a land, which we did not. Okay. That's fine. What is opponent doing? Okay, so he left that on top, so let's go ahead and mill it. And let's see if we can close the game out from here. So he is like a combination red aggro control. Sure. There's nothing we can do about that, really. I'm not really sure what our opponent's doing here. Okay. So we will mill his top card. Ooh, and we drew a removal spell. So that should be game. Okay. 4-0 on to game 5. So, what I love about this deck as well is I think this kind of destroys blue-white control. And I believe blue-white control is the best deck in the format. And let's put our money where our mouth is. Well, he could be Esper Greasefang, I suppose. So opponent knows. Normally I only do 5 games with the deck, but we won't count that one. So 5-0 with the bonus game. But the reason why I think we got a great matchup against blue-white control is we play at instant speed, so we can get underneath of them early on and then just counter all their removal and board wipes. And they should be dead before we run out. Okay, so this is a little wonky. We only have one creature. And we can't cast the one counter spell we do have. But I think this can work. Okay, because our one creature we do have is good against mono red. Our counter spells, however, are not that good against them. So that is unfortunate. Ooh, red-black sacrifice. I will go ahead and just almost misclick there. I'll just go ahead and get rid of that priest. Beautiful. So now he has no board. And we will be... Okay. So now our Cutthroat has a better chance of survival here. It might have been worth shocking that in case he drops a Mayhem Devil. Eek. If he wants... I'm still going to offer it to him. If he wants to go ahead and kill him, that's fine. But if he waits until his turn, now we can grow to get him out of ping range. Witch's Oven, that's fine. Claim the Firstborn. No. Actually, it would have been better to negate that. That was a misplay. So now hopefully he plays something else this turn that we can negate. Priest of the Forgotten Gods. Yeah. We'll dissipate that. I was hoping to save that dissipate for a cat, but this works just as well. I do not want to offer that trade. I think our Cutthroat at this point, now that he has survived, is better than his Mayhem Devil. So Deadly Dispute. Part of me wants to negate that. I'm going to, actually. He's got one card left. And we can still get our Cutthroat well out of harm's way. And then regardless, next turn we can cast our Lochmere Serpent. And I'm not sure if this deck actually runs any hard removal spells. I think they just run Fatal Pushes and rely on Mayhem Devil to ping things down. Okay. So, all in all, we went 6-0. Let's go ahead and head to the wrap-up. Okay, so we're back for the wrap-up. As you can see, like I said, this deck, it's very quick. So if you just want to get in there, win some games, and ladder up, this is the deck for you. If you just want to play a couple quick games on break at work, bam, this deck's for you. This is my preferred version of it. There are a few Esper Flash decks going around to play the Wanderer. I don't think it's worth it. She is a very powerful card, and I have attempted to run Esper Flash, but I do not think it holds up against just straight blue-black. But I think the deck speaks for itself. It went 6-0. It's a very good deck to ladder with. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns about it, let me know. And if you enjoyed the content, smash that like and subscribe button. And until next time, have fun.